For more on all this is CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, the economy is one of those areas where thoughts and feelings can become reality. Sentiment does matter, and the president has been trying to keep people upbeat, pointing to things like the jobs added on Friday, 300,000 new ones in the prior month. But now you've got this bank collapse, two of them, including one of the 20 largest in the country. How is that going to affect his effort to be a cheerleader for a strong economy?
Well, I think the White House isn't worried as much about the larger economic message right now as they are about stopping the bleeding. And they've seen just over the past few days how quickly fears can spread on social media. And so they've put the president out there to sort of be a cheerleader for what they're doing right now, making sure that depositors are going to have access to their funds, all of their funds, reassuring the public that their banking is going to be safe because they realize that things could skyrocket. Obviously, the markets are already jittery about what has happened. We saw after Silicon Valley Bank failed that very quickly thereafter another medium-sized bank, Signature, also failed. And they're worried about people getting worried, pulling their money out of various banks. And so that's why the president went out there for a few minutes this morning at the White House before getting on Air Force One to head to a previously scheduled trip in California to say, look, federal regulators are on it. Nobody is going to lose their money with one big caveat, and that is investors in Silicon Valley Bank, who obviously saw the stock price and the value of the bank plunge over the past week. He said those individuals took a risk when they invested in that business or any business, and they won't be reimbursed by the federal government. But he wants to send a reassuring message to the public because we now have seen how quickly fears can escalate and then can turn into real financial problems.
Nancy, you mentioned the president's trip to California. On the foreign policy front, today the president is heading to California to announce a landmark nuclear submarine deal reached with the UK and Australia. Now, this agreement aims to counter China's efforts to achieve dominance in the Pacific Ocean. So how will it do this?
Well, the way it's going to do it is to create much closer cooperation with the UK and Australia when it comes to nuclear-powered submarines. Australia does not have those right now, and the announcement that they're going to make, the president with the leaders of Australia and the UK, is that at first Australia's service members will basically embed with U.S. and U.K. submariners so that they can learn the system. Then they will buy a handful of nuclear-powered submarines from the U.S. and U.K., made with technology produced jointly by those two countries. And then eventually, within the next couple of decades, Australia will be able to use that know-how to produce its own nuclear-powered submarines. Why is that important? Well, because, as you pointed out, Elaine, China has been engaged in a massive buildup of its own military, its army, its air force, its navy, its space force. And that has the U.S. and its major allies in the Pacific very concerned. They want to build up their deterrent capability, not just on the water, but under the water. And so this is yet another sign that the U.S. is investing in its partners, in its major allies in the Pacific, because they've seen some of the aggressive actions that have been carried out by the Chinese military lately, threatening Taiwan, taking over uninhabited islands and the like. And they want to be able to send a message to China that they are strengthening their military assets in the region as well.
All right, Nancy Cordes in Washington. Nancy, thank you.
You're welcome.